Welcome to the second section of Chapter 5. In this section, we will be discussing international SEO, international SEO's rel equals alternate tag, local SEO, and mobile SEO. So first, before we really dive into it, let's spend some time discussing international SEO and how to exactly approach it. There's a few questions you should ask yourself before spending any time on international SEO. The first, of course, is: do you have any international SEO potential? International SEO is a big investment for many companies online, so it's important to make sure that your data supports a campaign before you begin. Here's how to approach that. Check site current total and organic traffic from other countries and languages. Identify the volume and trend, the used languages, keywords and pages of the visits, and conversions per country and language with Google Analytics. Number 2, check your site's current organic search visibility from other countries. Identify the queries and pages getting search results visibility in the already identified countries with Google Webmaster Tools, SEMrush, and Search Metrics. Do keyword research with the countries and languages that you've already identified. Identify the local search volume for relevant keywords in each country and language with the keyword tool of the most used search engine in each country. Google Keyword Tool, the Yandex Keyword Stats, Baidu Index, etc. Ask yourself one other thing. Does the potential traffic and conversions coming from additional countries and resources compensate the efforts to develop a new web presence? If it's not quite there yet, it might be too early, but there's some other things you can do. You can secure the country code top-level domain, which is the CCTLD, for the countries that show higher potential. You can also create a custom alert in Google Analytics for the most important countries and languages, so you're notified when they bring you enough traffic. If, however, you have a resounding yes, great. Let's do some international SEO. How's that sound? The next thing you need to ask yourself is, how can you target your international web audience? You need to identify your web targeting. Is location a factor that influences your web goals, products, or services? If not, focus on language targeting. If, however, you find value in location targeting, you need to ask yourself the following. Is there enough traffic and conversions potential to target each country? If not, you need to focus on language targeting. But if you have both of those, it might be best to focus on country targeting, keeping in mind that from an audience perspective, it could be absolutely ideal. But it may not be possible due to business, technical, or resource constraints. You need to understand your international audience's behaviors, get into their linguistic and cultural profile, and really dig deep into this. You can use studies and tools like Google GDN Research, the TNS Digital Life, and the ComScore Data Mine. Then identify and analyze your international industry and competitors. Your industry competition level and your competitors' behavior and characteristics in each of your international markets need to be looked at deeply. Use Alexa Top Sites, RankRank, and SimilarWeb. Finally, so how can you develop an internationally targeted site? Choose an international site structure based on your targeting and characteristics. Each language or country version should be featured through their own web structure, so they can all be crawled, indexed, and ranked. Don't use cookies, don't use scripts to show your language file versions in the same URL. Be sure you localize your site content and structure, including metadata. Make sure that your international web structure is findable and easy to navigate. Link between your different language country versions with a crawlable and very visible menu, and don't automatically redirect your users to a specific version. It's better to suggest. Use the meta content language. Specify the language and country. If you're doing country targeting of your content, by adding the content language meta tag in your HTML's head. Promote within your international community to earn local popularity. Identify and connect with your international community to build popularity and trust. If you're country targeting, make sure that you geolocate. Use the geo-targeting option of the main search engine's Webmaster Tools in your market. Webmaster Tools, Bing Webmaster Tools, Yandex Webmaster, etc., and specify the target company. And be sure to use a local IP address. Supporting multiple languages on websites is nothing new, but with browser and search engine technology starting to rely on structured data, it's never been more important to make sure you're using the correct markup, which is where the rel equals alternate tag comes into play. Simply put, when used correctly, the specification element helps Google index and serve the localized version of your content to users who require an alternate language version. The best use of this tag is in instances where you have the same or regionally specific content in another language on the same website. Google recommends the use in the following 3 scenarios. 1, you have a completely alternate version of your site translated in a different language. 2, you translate only the navigational components of the page, like the navigation, sidebar, or footer, but the main content remains only in one language. This is commonly used on pages that include user-generated content. And finally, your pages have very similar content within a single language with regional variations. For example, you have a Spanish language content page targeted at readers in Spain and also South America. So let's talk a bit about using the rel equals alternate tag. Simply put, the best use of this specification element is in instances where you have the same content in another language on the same website. So let's say you have an English website at example.com. You also have a Japanese version of that web page at example.com/JA. Google has created 2 ways for you to indicate that the Japanese URL is the Japanese language equivalent of the English page. First off is the HTML link element, which is the top one that you see here, the bracket link rel equals alternate tag. And second, the HTTP header. If you have a non-HTML content on your web page, a good example is like a PDF file. You can use a rel equals canonical HTTP headers to indicate the canonical URL for HTML documents. The link looks like displayed above, and each supported language must be set as using rel equals alternate to identify all the language versions, including itself. So let's talk about local SEO just for a little bit. David Mim, the local search guru at Moz, just released his annual local search ranking factor survey, which helps give us local marketers more insight into which ranking factors matter the most. The survey shows a definite shift towards more traditional web ranking factors compared to last year's local search ranking factors survey. Half of the survey had Google places and citations weighted heavily, but this year's study shows that on-site signals and links are the most powerful factors. This shift is consistent with Google's recent local rankings algorithm update, Pigeon. Many local SEOs claimed that they weren't hit by Pigeon, but it's more likely that because they took a more wholesome approach to SEO and local SEO in general, that their site simply had more authority to begin with. The most important point that we try to hammer home to potential clients is that you can't fool the nerds at Google. Everything you do, both on and off your site, should be working towards the end goal of making your user experience awesome, not trying to fool Google into placing you higher on search engine results. So taking what we've been able to figure out about the Pigeon update and adding in the results from the 2014 local search ranking factor survey, here are 2 simple steps to help you set the stage for local search success next year. Be awesome and get awesome links. Yes, it's really that simple, but at the same time, it's really not that easy for local businesses. Take a look at your competitors in your vertical. Nearly every website has the same or similar content. Most sites don't have that many inbound links. Okay, so how are you supposed to be awesome? The best thing you can do for local search success in 2015 is to take all the energy you put into trying to fool Google and instead use that energy to make your site better. Take a long, hard look at your site and look at your competitors' sites. What can you do to be better? You know your potential customers will be looking at multiple sites, so make your site the best in your vertical. Make sure you're avoiding these common pitfalls. They're all pretty basic, but we still see too many sites tripping up on these. No homepage content. Your customers and search engines need to know what you're all about. If your homepage is a slider banner and just a few sentences, you need to add more useful content there immediately. Only a few sentences on a page. Your customers and search engines are checking your website for useful, relevant information. If you offer a product or service, don't just say we sell X, call us for information. Today's shoppers want immediate information, so you need to pack every page with useful content. Spamming keywords. Far too many websites rely on this outdated tactic. You're not going to rank well everywhere in your state simply because you listed out 100 cities separated by commas on your homepage. Does that huge list of cities provide useful information for customers? No. Does it help you rank in Google? Definitely not. Get rid of the junk and populate your site with relevant, informative content instead. Finally, awful title tags. You've got about 500 pixels of width for your title tags. Anything longer will be truncated when it's displayed in search results. The title tag should summarize the page. It shouldn't be a huge chunk of keywords you're trying to rank for. Put your primary keyword phrase at the beginning and your business name at the end, and if you've got 100 keywords stuffed in your title tag, it's just going to make you look desperate. So don't forget your local optimization. That's also equally as important. With on-site signals now carrying so much weight, it's more important than ever to have your localized optimization ducks in a row. It won't do you any good to bang out a ton of citations if your site doesn't include the local signals that Google expects it to have. So again, these are old school basics, but we hardly see any websites correctly optimizing for the local areas. 1. Include city, state in your title tag. Remember, the title tag is incredibly important for optimization, and including your city and state is an important signal for local relevancy. You should also include city and state in your H1 heading. It doesn't have to be the entire heading in and out of itself. What's important here is to include your city and state in the page heading to further show local relevancy. Make sure you include it in your content. Far too many sites forget to include city and state information inside site content. So optimizing for local search isn't going to work unless you're talking about your local area in the on-page content. You should also include city and state in your alt text on all images. It's still amazing to me how many times we see sites that don't include any alt text. Remember, Google can't see what's in your images, so alt text helps provide a better understanding of your page content. Including city-state information can really help boost local relevancy. Finally, city and state in your URL. If you've got the ability to edit your URL structure, try to include your city and state information in the URLs. Again, this can go a long way towards providing a stronger local signal to both customers and Google. It's important to note, if you're going to update your URLs, be prepared to set up a bunch of 301 redirects so that the old address is permanently pointed to the new one. These are all just specific tactics to help with the main goal, to make your site more awesome. Stop thinking about how to make your site rank. Get rid of that idea and start thinking about how to make your site the best in your niche. That's how you're going to get the site to rank better and also convert more visitors. Finally, that's leading us to mobile SEO. Adopting a successful mobile SEO strategy in 2014 would undoubtedly give your organization a competitive advantage. To underscore the importance of implementing a mobile SEO strategy in 2015 in the coming year, a recent mobile path to purchase study performed by Nielsen on behalf of Google found that 74% of mobile users utilize the search engine during their purchase process, and that 83% of mobile users intend to make a purchase within a day. Here are 6 essential elements to help ensure your mobile success in SEO in the coming year. So first, focus on the mobile user experience. User experience is the single most important factor for success of a mobile SEO strategy in the coming year. User experience impacts a site's ability to engage visitors, which we know has a direct impact on rankings. More importantly, it impacts the site's abilities to generate conversions. Therefore, ensuring your site is providing mobile users with a great experience can improve your site's rankings greatly, as well as its ability to engage and convert visitors into customers. All of the essential elements we discussed today are tying back to user experience. Google is constantly making strides to improve mobile user experience. A good mobile SEO strategy that aligns with this goal is going to be more successful than a strategy that focuses primarily on rankings and traffic. You should also have a mobile-friendly site. 2015, mobile-friendly site, whether responsive or dedicated, will be fundamental to a successful mobile SEO strategy. The growth of mobile traffic is absolutely surging, and according to a Bright Edge mobile share report, smartphone traffic increased 125% as compared to desktop growth, which increased only 12%. However, desktop SEO is going to remain equally as important in 2015. The same study found that smartphone users converted at only 1/3 of the rate of desktop and tablet users, and much of this has to do with poor smartphone user experience. There's a lot of debate still. Which is better, a responsive or dedicated mobile site? The truth is that there's pros and cons to both, and the answer is whichever option will best meet the needs of your personal customers. You should work on speeding up slow-loading mobile pages. Page load speeds can have a significant impact on mobile user experience and conversions. And so, based on some research by Nielsen, Google wants mobile pages to load in 1 second or less to deliver a positive user experience and keep the user engaged. More than 1 second disrupts the user's flow of thought. And according to Google, the average mobile page load speed today is over 7 seconds. Because page load speed is crucial to creating a positive mobile user experience, it's essential to a successful mobile SEO strategy. While it's not clear how much of a direct impact mobile page load speed has on rankings, Google is stressing it's important because of the impact on user experience. And what is good for user experience is good for rankings. You should incorporate clean design with a focus on usability. A site's design and usability can have a profound impact on its ability to engage and convert, especially for mobile users who view websites on smaller screens. Providing information in an intuitive and easily digestible format using big buttons and clear calls to action will make a world of difference when it comes to a site's ability to engage and convert mobile users. Usability should trump design, and unnecessary design elements should be eliminated. They will only make a site appear cluttered on mobile devices and cause pages to load slower. 5. Understanding mobile user intent's greatly important. With the introduction of Google's Hummingbird algorithm, understanding mobile user intent, conversational search queries, and voice search is essential to a successful mobile SEO strategy in the coming year. An SEO strategy should always be guided by the needs and wants of your intended audience, and the needs and wants of mobile users are often different than that of desktop users. For example, smartphone users in particular are often looking for something local and have high purchase intent. According to Google, 69% of mobile users expect businesses to be within 5 miles of their location, and 55% of mobile users want to purchase within the hour. With this understanding, a local business or a business with multiple locations knows that making their physical addresses, hours of operation, and contact information readily available to mobile searchers through a mobile-friendly website and Google Plus business listing will improve conversions and are elements that should be prioritized. Finally, take conversational and voice search into account. Understanding mobile user intent also impacts the types of keyword phrases an SEO strategy should incorporate. Next year, 2015, it will no longer be enough to simply combine keywords with a location. Keywords will have to be considered in context as more mobile users utilize voice search and ask search engines specific questions. For example, someone performing a voice search for a local dentist may ask their smartphone, "Where is the nearest dentist?" as opposed to typing dentist plus location. Since these search results are determined in large part based on the mobile user's location, an SEO strategy that promotes the dental office location and incorporates conversational search terms within its content may have an edge over competing dental offices in the same area. So while these 6 elements are essential to the success of mobile SEO in 2015, mobile SEO should no longer be considered separate from desktop. Rather, they're 2 parts of a complete SEO strategy, and consumers utilize multiple devices at this point to research the products and services that interest them. An SEO strategy that allows consumers to find your products and services and provides a great user experience regardless of device will be successful. Next up in Section 3, that's the end of Chapter 5, Section 2 will cover authorship markup, the Panda update, the Penguin update, and Hummingbird in Section 3.